Hello and welcome to this new video. Today we are talking about a very important and also difficult and difficile subject. Today I want to talk with you about the subject of giving the room of confrontation, giving someone the room of confrontation, giving yourself the room of confrontation, and how are you handling situations with another person in which you are confronting a certain issue that appeared between you and the other person. It can also be a group, of course, or maybe also if you want to separate from another person, if you feel there's something wrong with the other person, or there's something not right and you want to you kind of want to take distance to the other person, maybe also breaking up with another person, separating with another person. That also belongs to this subject. So in this wonderful autumn flair, we are talking about the subject, and I hope I can give you some clue about on clarity to all which is connected to this subject. Some clients or actually many people that I see have problems with this situation, and the situation, as you see and as you know, doesn't only appear like once in your life. It appears many times, and oftentimes in some parts of your life, maybe more often than others. But maybe at this time right now, when I'm making this video, 2024, then I guess that you will have those situations more often than usual, and the following month and years, which is just due to the time and to the kind of evolution that mankind is facing right now. Alright, so many clients have told me and opened themselves to me and said they are very insecure with this. They don't know what to say, what to do. Is it right to confront the other person? Is it right to say something at all? Is it right to text or just make a message and leave a message? Is it right to meet the other person and tell the other person what's wrong, or how shall they behave? And my answer that I also give to you now, that you can see like some sort of template that you can use for yourself and for your own personal use in your life. And that is the first thing I say always is clear, make clarity and get clarity for yourself first before you confront the other person at all. If you intend to confront the other person, or if it is right to confront the other person, that is actually what we have to find out. If it is right, it's not about do you want really, like on a surface level, because it feels good or not. It's about what is right and what is wrong, and that is the bottom line of this video and message that I want to bring over here today. So we have to find out what is right, and I will also talk about some law stuff or right and order stuff, because it is a subject that is connected to right and order. Like the topic is right and order, and we can also say reckoning in some ways. But to that later. So first I say, okay, make clarity for yourself. And why is that? Because if you have no clarity for yourself before you go into a conversation with another person, which is kind of a conflict, then you will end up in some useless, debate, which is leading nowhere. And after that, you have even more uncertainties and unclarity than before, and the other person as well. So you first, and that is some kind of lesson that I learned for my life in every situation. I first get the clarity for myself in every situation before I confront another person. So, and the clarity you should have here is how important is the other person to you, and what does the other person mean to you. That is like the first thing. What does the other person really mean to you? And here you need to be very honest with yourself. And that is also something I want to give you, to share with you. You need to have the mindset and the intent to be honest with yourself. Otherwise, this won't work, okay? You have to be honest. That is the first thing. You have to be honest and willing to see the truth of the things, not just the look of the things or the feeling of the things, to see the things as they are. And that is sometimes kind of a challenge, but it is possible if you are willing to. And it is also something I recommend, that you have another person maybe that helps you, that is not connected with the situation, that a person that can detach her or himself from the situation that you want to talk about with the other person, that is not emotionally detached to it, and has the ability to detach him or herself from another situation, which is maybe also reflecting something on the person's life. Because many people, if you ask them, they just tell you their view of the things, which is not the right view, okay? We are not talking about some view of me or of anyone. It's about the things as they are, if you have like some kind of objective truth of the things. And that is two different realities in many experiences. So that is what we want. And therefore, if you don't have another person, that you have this feeling that it is trustworthy enough, that can help you with it and has the ability to detach him or herself from it, then just do it for yourself. And I also say this always, just ask the universe, ask God, ask some higher divine force for help. I mean, if this is too spiritual for you or whatever, I don't care, it works and you can use it as well. It actually is it's nothing bad. And if you have some issues with it, then maybe it's time and maybe it's something that you can try to integrate in life. I mean, what have you to lose and what should it harm? It doesn't harm to you. It doesn't make any harm to you. But when I say God and the universal force, I mean the true origin force, okay? And nothing else, nothing like who is just representing it. Because there's only one true force, if like one divine force, if you know what I mean. So if you maybe sometimes hear some voices or something, there are some animals right here, some goats running around. Just not far away, so don't wonder about that. Okay, good. So this is the first thing. Get clarity about it, and also ask yourself, what is this all about? What's the context of the situation that you are in? So what is it all about? What has happened? What are you like kind of missing in the relationship? What is the thing that you are not happy with? What is it that makes you trouble or that bothers you? That troubles you in some way, that you feel there's something wrong. So maybe there's just like a feeling and there are some doubts. I mean, we have to separate here, okay? Maybe what I'm talking right now is some surface stuff. So maybe you have some doubts. You have superficial feelings. You have some things that you're not happy with that are not very relevant in any way, that harms your life in a severe matter. So if you're just talking about some bagatelles, something that is not very, as I said, not so harmful in a way to your life. And also if you're talking about some kind of issues that you have that maybe also just reflect something about yourself. If you reflect yourself, that something that you don't like about yourself, maybe the other person just reflects you in this and mirrors you in this behavior, and you don't like that because you don't like to see it in yourself. Is it something like that also? Is it maybe something also that that you cannot really explain, or that you have not a true reason why you I say it another way. So if you have something that you don't like about the other person, is it something that is that you can truly and on a profound level that you can justify and have an argue and some concrete and certain situation, some evidence kind of, that proves what you say here. And because what I mean by that is that many people talk bad about another person, or I have experienced it, you have certainly experienced it, and this is nothing that you really want in your life. It's nothing that we want in life in general. I'm talking here about giving another person like kind of a guilt and throwing to another person some kind of prejudices and all this kind of stuff, and all this stuff, some things that are just, when you look at it deeply and very sharply, that have no foundation. They are just like some bunch of ideas, or as I said, prejudices about a person. And when you have that, and you have no real fundament of argument for what you are not happy with the other person, then we are talking about a superficial level here. And also if you're not quite certain. And in this case, I say and have to say here that the other person has the right, and you should give the other person the right to answer, to responsibility, to show responsibility to what you are bringing forth to the other person. So you should definitely confront the other person, at least by talking to the other person on the phone and giving the other person by that the chance to answer, and to also maybe even prove the innocence. Because what we also have here often is that with those prejudices and with those things that get thrown to another person's feet, or before another person's feet, there comes like guilt with it. And the other person might be innocent. And if you don't give the other person the room and the space and the possibility to talk to you, and when I say by that, I also mean give the other person also the time to talk to you, not just pretending to. Like, hey, you can call me tomorrow, then it's over. And like one day before. No, I mean, like if you give the other person really the possibility and say, hey, when do you have time to talk, and let's just talk about it in a calm surrounding, and just get clarity about it. And then the other person has the chance to answer to it, and maybe even prove her or his innocence. And if you don't that, you subconsciously or consciously, some people do it like not consciously, but some people do it with intent. We have to grow up and we have to face the situation. There are evil people, there are evil persons and around, and they want it with intent that other person have the guilt, and they don't want to talk. They kind of close up then and build kind of a wall, and it's over, and the other person has to live with the guilt, even if the person is innocent. But what you are trying to do here is you are taking away the right of the other person to prove her or his innocence, and that is a birthright that every man or woman has on this earth. Okay, but there is a kind of a special case, and that is the next. That is the next level. So if we are talking about very bad stuff, about things that are really not okay, And what is that? Okay, maybe the other person is talking you down all the time. Maybe the other person is lying, and you have really situations that you can say or prove that is right, it has happened, and you can really call it up, the situation. If the other person did harm you in any way, like emotionally, physically, even physically, or verbally, okay? If the other person did that, that is something which is absolutely not okay. I think we are clear about that. But even more mean or evil stuff, vicious stuff. So if we have that, then in this situation, you have to be very careful. I mean, also, this is kind of a certain, I also say this also, it's kind of like, what's the word in English? In Germany we say to make someone the process. I think process is not the right word. Like if you go to a court, then it's kind of the same situation, okay? Because another person, you confront someone with a situation, the other person has the ability to respond, and then you kind of have to, it has to get settled, and you have to find like, okay, who is guilty, who is not guilty, or at least how do we arrange it, and how can we solve the situation? And if you have that, then in this, if you have a situation which is connected to a very vicious kind of sort of a behavior, and you have maybe also experienced that when you give the other person the room for confrontation, what you experience is the other person just tries to give you the fault for everything, and just tries to talk him or herself out of their responsibility, and tries to get away with their or her mistakes, and just leaving them somewhere else and all the problems, and just loading them on someone else, and just making prejudices to another person who is innocent, or like just making just throwing their own mistakes they made, and they know they made them, on another person, on you or someone else. And also, of course, guilt maybe also, which is by the way not the same, okay? Just to have this said, by the way, if someone made a mistake, it doesn't mean that someone is guilty. It is not the same thing. That is something different, but that maybe in another video. Okay, so in this situation, you should not give another person the room, and the other person has taken the right of being heard and having the room for proving innocence, etc., has taken this right of him or herself. The person has taken it from him or herself. Not you are taking it away, the other person has taken it away. By abusing the room or the responsibility or the possibility that you have given the other person, or you would give the other person. I mean, it doesn't have to have happened. If it didn't happen yet, but it is definitely certain it will happen, but then you must have some sort of proof about it. You have to really kind of know it, and it must be very, very clear. Then you should not give this room in any way. And maybe you shouldn't even say anything anymore. I mean, this depends on the situation, but at least it is absolutely okay if you just leave a message, say, hey, this is the reason. If you want to say some reasons, I mean, maybe it's good, and actually I think you should say, okay, listen, I have made up my mind, I have looked at it very deeply or whatever, and I just figured it out that this and this I'm not happy with, and this is not okay, and I don't want that anymore. So, and I mean, you have the right, and every person has the right to separate him or herself from another person. I mean, only because you're talking to another person and you kind of have a confrontation doesn't mean that you have to stay together with another person. Just having that said also. Okay, so and then I want to get this to a conclusion, I want to make what is the word? yeah, I want to make some quote here, maybe that's the right word, maybe, which you can misunderstand if you don't if you don't consider everything I said before, and that you should consider. The quote I want to say here: if another person, and that is the thing that is like the condition, the must condition that we have to have here, that must be given. If another person is not abusing the responsibility of confrontation and has the intent, if another person has the intent to face a honest confrontation and wants and has the intent to take responsibility for this confrontation, then the other person, and every man or woman, has the right to answer, to get hurt, to prove his or her, maybe also, because as I said, it's not the same, but also his or her innocence, and to justify her or himself. But if the other person is not taking this responsibility, if the other person is abusing this responsibility, this room that would be given to this person, if this person would whatever, as I said, just abuse this room for giving, for throwing prejudices and making their own mistakes and giving fault to another person who is innocent, and just kind of trying to sneak away from all the responsibility of this person, and also doing maybe some other crimes, abusing this room for some other crimes. I mean, this has happened in history as well. In the room that you would give to the person, then it is absolutely not right to give this person the room, and then it's absolutely okay that you just maybe leave a message and that's it. And I also have to say here, I had some experiences with friends, also women, who kind of broke up, separated in a relationship, and they had the experience that another person just didn't leave them alone. Like the ex-boyfriend came up all the time, or they were walking a certain way to university or whatever, and this person showed up every day or almost every day, and this was very unpleasant and very uncomfortable for those women, of course, as you can understand, certainly. And here, I mean, I worked, or I helped those, sometimes I helped those people, and in one certain case I had a friend, a woman, not a girlfriend, a friend, and I helped her, and I helped her to clear the situation in herself and get clarity for herself. And I also had some tools that worked on a deeper level and on a subconscious level already in this time, and I could help the person, this woman, and she never ever, at least in this certain way that she had every day, where she met him always, she never ever met him again, and she was very happy about it, because it was actually very unpleasant for her. And we are talking here about stalking already. I mean, this is stalking actually. But in those cases, I have to tell you that I just want to tell you that if you see there's something very weird going on here, then just take the help from police or any other, police is the first thing, or any institute, federal institute that can or would help you, because I think in this case you maybe just need more help. Okay, good. I think I have said everything. I hope I could help you with this video and give you some clarity. And if you like the video, just show this with a thumb up. I would appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel if you want more of this kind of videos. And yeah, I'm happy to see you in the next video. Bye.